Hey, comic book fans, this is Ravi the Heavy Roller ready here with another video on a recent MCU movie I watched on Disney Plus, The Eternals. Now, I could see what Disney was trying to do here. The Eternals, they're trying to follow the same recipe as they did with Guardians of the Galaxy, where they prepared this brand new offering that the world of comic book movies hasn't seen before. Yes, the Guardians of the Galaxy, or the Eternals in this instance, much like the Guardians of the Galaxy, is something that is well documented, well read, well published within the Marvel comic book universe. Now, part of the challenge is how do you adapt a movie that is got a very good fan base in the comic book world, but not as prolific as the likes of Spider Man, the Hulk, the Avengers for that matter, into the big screen. Now, Guardians of the Galaxy came in with, completely out the blue and shocked the world as it were. Became one of the most highest grossing films in the MCU. And the funny thing is that I had no idea who these dudes were. I mean, I remember reading one or two editions back in the day, but it didn't quite have the same impact as the movies did, admittedly so. And I love the comedic undertone of it. And I think that's what helped sell Mzansi Comic Club to the extent that it did. Unfortunately, the Eternals is the polar opposite. The Eternals doesn't quite have the same after effect. It doesn't quite render the same sort of audience appreciation to an extent, whereas the visuals are probably one of the best visuals I would have seen in the MCU. It just that these guys came out of the blue, much like Guardians of the Galaxy did, but it just didn't have the same after effect, unfortunately. So it fell flat, considerably flat in my view. We got thrown into a tailspin. We got told about the story about the deviants and, what their purpose or their mission on Earth was for. I got to see a little bit of what Salma Hayek was all about in that show. And on paper, the cast looked very good. I mean, you got Salma Hayek as one of the leads there. You got Angelina Jolie as Athena, but again, it's somebody that you don't really see throughout the movie. She was quite severely understated, I should say. And you get thrown into this tailspin of these guys trying to defend something, and you're trying to piece together how this connect to the rest of the MCU, only to get a big reveal towards it. So I don't want to necessarily spoil the Eternals for you, but it wasn't really on top of my list. I'd rather watch the other MCU TV series. When I say TV series, I mean miniseries. I think is the best descriptor for the MCU 6 episode series, such as Captain America and the Winter Soldier, or sorry, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and you've got Miss Marvel, Moon Knight. All of those I rated far better than the Eternals, to be honest with you. And the Eternals is fulfilling a void or a gap that doesn't necessarily need to be filled. Uh, and it really, I think it's just there for decoration. I'll be very surprised if it warrants a sequel. I honestly don't think they should even consider going that route. Other than the fact that they've got a fairly robust cast, I don't see much going for this movie. So watch it if you literally have got nothing to do. Again, there's a pretty good casting. The the musical score is pretty good. And yeah, but I mean, you just thrown into a tailspin. Like I said before, you've got these guys fighting for a reason which you're trying to figure out. That was me. The first maybe 20, 30 minutes, you're trying to figure out why are these guys here? And more so, why didn't they get involved when Thanos rocked up? Surely that was the one example of a deviant coming in and wrecking your home, wrecking your house. Where were these dudes? So it doesn't make sense. I don't know why Kevin Feige funded this project, to be honest with you. But again, there are plenty of other fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe that may feel otherwise. I would love to hear your thoughts, your views. But before you even comment, I'd love it if you could like, subscribe, and share the link as widely and as commonly as possible. I really wanted to get this off my chest. This is the one movie that I recently finished, and I'm wondering why on earth did I invest 2 hours and 10 minutes into it. Not a bad movie for a number of reasons, but generally I would say the sort of the bad aspects of this film sort of outweigh the good in the grand scheme of things. But again, my take. Love to hear your views, your points, and sound off your comments below. Otherwise, stay safe, stay cool, and watch the space. More to come.